IT Governance's PCI DSS Documentation Toolkit contains formatted and fully customizable documents, plus expert QSA guidance, to help any organization meet the documentation requirements of the PCI DSS. Organizations that must comply with the PCI DSS can save weeks of work creating the necessary documentation by using this documentation toolkit. Here are a few of the features of the PCI DSS Documentation Toolkit. Setting up your documentation. There is a new feature included in the latest version of our PCI DSS toolkit. Here you can see a user input worksheet. This enables you to automate bespoke fields, accelerating the task of customizing documentation specific to your organization. This automation feature saves you time by personalizing all of your documents with your company name and logo and setting your classification levels in one go, removing the need to make the same changes to each document. Project Tools. This folder contains resources to determine which documents address which PCI DSS requirements. The Document Analysis tool has been designed by our PCI QSA to make it easy to see if all the documentation required to meet the PCI DSS is in place within your organization, as well as to help with planning which documents need completing. The document listing sheet shows which documents from the toolkit apply to which PCI DSS requirements, as well as the SAQs that each requirement applies to. Once you've selected which documents you have, you can select your SAQ type on the executive summary sheet to see an overview of how complete your documentation is. The Gap Analysis tool has been designed to help with the initial PCI DSS compliance gap analysis by providing a breakdown of how the organization is progressing towards compliance. In this tool, each sheet breaks down the PCI DSS requirements into smaller sections, detailing the testing procedures for each, as well as which SAQ they are present in. Simply fill in the In Place column with Yes, No, CC, or NA. CC refers to compensating control in place, which will then need filling in on the compensating controls sheet. Use NA if the requirement is not applicable to your organization. This choice must be justified in the comments column. Once the requirements are complete, you can select the correct SAQ type on the executive summary page to see how close you are to achieving compliance with the standard. The PCI DSS Dashboard tool enables you to simply keep track of the progress of your documentation throughout your compliance project. Expert Guidance. We have also included detailed guidance on common elements of PCI DSS compliance. Encryption Key Management Guidance. Many organizations take a reactive approach to encryption, assuming that their encryption is adequate until there is a breach. By using an effective key management system and a proactive approach, an organization can reduce the chance of a breach to a minimum level. PCI DSS Scoping Guidance. Scoping is always going to be a key element of PCI DSS compliance. This guidance dispels some of the myths surrounding PCI DSS scoping to make it easier to carry out this process.